Okay, let's take a look at the new addition to X Particle Suit, Boom. Similarly, open the menu in the upper left corner, click Append. Select and import the project. Don't forget to select the imported object and click on the Modifiers tab so you can see all the adjustments. Play it back and see. It's a little too close now. Scroll the middle mouse wheel back so we can see the overall effect. Simply make some display adjustments so we can see more clearly. Adjust the start frame value to modify the starting frame of Boom. If the value is 50, the Boom effect will start from the 50th frame. The values of particle life and trail life affect the residence time of the explosion wake. Of course, the longer the residence time, the longer the wake will be. It is worth noting that their retention time is somewhat random, so this value does not actually correspond to the specific number of frames of life. You can increase or decrease this value appropriately according to the actual length of the effect. The larger the Boom density value, the more explosion trajectories will be generated, and vice versa. The Boom strength value affects the intensity of the explosion. Boom acceleration is generally a little larger than 1. The larger the value, the stronger the explosion. Its effect is opposite to that of Boom deceleration. The deceleration provided by the latter simulates air resistance, which means that the explosion will decay in speed within a suitable range. Not forever. These two parameters will affect the 4 elements that make up the explosion effect: head particles, trails, particles and dust, which will be introduced later. Boom strength will only affect the first 3. Please note that although Boom acceleration can directly adjust the intensity of the explosion, its role is more to form a reasonable proportional relationship with deceleration to make the explosion effect more realistic. So if you're simply increasing explosive strength, just adjusting Boom strength is usually enough. In order to make the visual effect more comfortable and natural, I introduced inertia. After the head particles disappear, the particle trails of the explosion will continue to move slowly along the original speed direction. The larger the value, the faster the speed. If the value is 0, no effect will be produced. Adjusting the Boom seed value can affect the position of emitted particles and the random size of trail particles. So if you want to quickly create an effect that is not exactly the same as the original, just adjust this value. Boom position, Boom rotation, and Boom scale, as their names suggest, are relatively conventional properties. Without further introduction, you can make some adjustments yourself or add keyframes to them. Okay, let's continue looking at gravity. This parameter is used to simulate gravitational acceleration. You can adjust its size as needed. If the value is 0, it will have no effect. You can also adjust the object at the launch end to change the basic shape of the explosion. Let's create a new cone as an example. The cone will appear here, select it. Play the animation to see that the explosion is fired from a cone. When we uncheck the custom object, the built-in emission source will be automatically enabled. Very convenient. Before explaining Deformer, let's adjust some effects first so that the effects can be more easily observed. The Deformer block contains 4 options. You can use the checkbox to decide whether to apply the deformer. Deformer style provides 3 different effects. There are pulsify effects, soft curve effects, and polyline effects. Deformer strength adjusts the degree of deformation. The value set by fade-in frames is the number of frames, calculated from the starting frame, and will gradually increase the degree of deformation to make the animation look smoother. We can compare the difference in the first few frames of animation when the value is 0 and when the value is 30. The above parts are all adjustments to the overall effect of Boom. These are all implemented by me through Blender Geometry Node. It is the complexity of development that makes it simple to use. Below we explain the parameters related to each element that makes up Boom. The head particles block contains 7 adjustable items. Before introducing it, let me close the deformer to see it more clearly. Use head particles to turn head particles on or off. Custom head can modify the default head particle object. If it is empty, the built-in object will be automatically used. Head size is used to adjust the size. Head rotation speed is the speed of its random rotation. If it is 0, it will not rotate. Head life adjusts the lifespan of head particles. This value is relative. Its lifespan itself is random. You can increase or decrease its value appropriately according to the actual situation. The head color can be customized. Of course, you can also customize the head material to be what you want, such as metal material or wood grain material. But please note that after customizing the material, the color adjustment will be invalid. At this time, you need to adjust the color of your material. These 2 adjustments are the same for other elements, and these 2 contents will not be explained later. A trail block contains 10 items. Before introducing, we should close the introduced head particles first, and particles that haven't been introduced yet. Trail size can adjust the thickness of the trail. Please note that the trail will become thinner and disappear over time. Trail length can be added to the length of an existing trail, but you can also reduce it. Trail accuracy mainly serves the following for items such as trail overall strength, and the minimum value is 2. The trail overall part is mainly used to adjust the overall shape, and the trail deals part is mainly used to adjust the detailed shape. Let's do some demos and see. Now obviously the details are not enough. At this point we increase the trail accuracy, and you can see that there are more details. Now let's turn off trails and turn on particles. And the particle size is used to adjust the particle size. And particles random size is used to adjust the random size. The value represents the ratio of the minimum particle size. If the value is 0, all particles are the same size. If you don't notice the difference, you can observe it together with the particle spread parameter. Spread is used to break up the particles. The larger the value, the more dispersed it is. The meaning of particles rotation speed and head rotation speed are the same. The larger the particle accuracy value, the denser the particles. The minimum value is 0. Now let's turn off particles and turn on dust. The dust section contains 12 adjustable items. Most of the adjustments are similar to the previous ones, so we'll just touch on a few that are different. The value of dust density determines the density. The same goes for dust life. The larger the value, the longer the residence time. The larger the dust velocity value, the faster the speed, and vice versa. Adjust the turbulent volatility value to see changes in the speed of particles around the vortex. The value of dust form frequency can modify the frequency of particles, and you can see the different effects of different values. Now that you know how to use the X-particle boom component, you can use it to create many interesting explosion-like effects. Thanks for watching. Peace.